This is a flash fiction piece called Real Sports. Jared likes to hunt, and you mock complain with the other girls who call themselves hunting widows. You marvel at all the gear, the camouflage clothes, the orange vests, the bullets. Jared likes to show you the guns, the Winchester XX3 cantilever buck, the Browning A-bolt, the Mossberg 930 slugster. When he goes to the woods with his father, you stay behind and drink apple cider with his mother. The deer heads on the living room wall stare at you with vacant eyes. She tells you this is what it's like to be a Baker woman, and you want to be a Baker woman. Your own mother wouldn't sit around and wait for anyone, not even you. But you like it, how the light outside changes as your mug cools, how Mrs. Baker deftly assembles a casserole, the way she stacks wood in the fireplace. Even though you are only 16, you imagine getting married in this backyard, the lace veil that will trail behind you, the bouquet of sunflowers in your hands. Jared and his father return, an 8-point buck slung in the back of the red pickup truck. You and Jared have fucked in the cab of this truck, parked in the cemetery and behind the Legion, and sometimes, when your curfew is near, on the side of the road. He turns you over, pressing your face into the vinyl seat. He drives you home, one hand on the wheel, the other hand holding yours. Jared and his father flip the tailgate down and pull the deer out, and you stare at its glorious antlers, its smooth coat of fur, and the small hole in its shoulder. Blood is matted to its body and smeared inside the truck bed. You expected more. Jared's mother gets her camera, and the men pose with the deer, holding it up by the antlers. She hands the camera to you and says it's your turn. You hold the camera close to your eye. The deer's tongue hangs out the side of its mouth. Jared and his father pose it like some kind of doll, cocking its head and limbs. His mother steps into the frame. She tucks the deer's tongue inside its mouth and wraps her arms around each of her men. Jared makes a thumbs up sign, and you take the shot, slightly out of focus. Then Jared and his father drag the buck to the garage where they hang it upside down by its feet. The deer has been cut and gutted. The area that used to safely house its heart and lungs and stomach now hollowed out. Jared says you should call it field dressing. You wonder what will happen to those organs they left behind in the woods. You think maybe the deer will blink its eyes and thrash its body, loosen itself from the hook. Jared tells you to stop being such a spoil sport, and you say you're sorry. Can't you see how much this moment means to Jared and his parents? Don't you want to be a Baker woman? One day you will make the casserole and build the fire. One day you will wrap venison in butcher paper and stock the freezer. One day you will say to a girl, "This is how it's done." You will go to the woods to find the missing organs, scoop them up in your hands and eat them raw. You will emerge from the woods, bloodied and victorious.
Well, thank you. Hi, I'm Janet Benj, and I'm the president of the Kerouac Project of Orlando, and I'm here with Shasta Grant, who is our 2017 spring resident. And thank you for reading that for us.
Thank you.
And tell us what you've been doing while you've been in the house, Shasta.
I wrote a novel while I was here.
Well, that's very impressive. From start to finish?
From start to finish.
So did you have an idea of what you were going to write when you came?
I had a loose idea. Mm-hmm. It was originally conceived it was going to be connected stories, mm-hmm. but then I decided I really wanted to just focus on one of those threads and kind of expand it. So I had the character and the setting, and then it was more about sorting out what was going to happen.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And what kind of, that's a lot to do in 3 months. What kind of a routine did you develop to get yourself there?
I work really well with external, forces, like, guidelines and structure. So I was doing 1,500 words a day minimum. And I use Scrivener, which I've never used before. And it pops up with a thing every day that says, you've reached your goal for today, whenever I hit 1,500 words. And that was super motivating for me.
Great.
There wasn't a day where I didn't get it. And I think if it wasn't for that little
Pop-up,
that there are some days I probably would have said, oh, that's good enough. But
yeah, I'll make it up tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, wow. So Scrivener really helped you with that.
Definitely.
It's definitely a good idea.
Yeah.
What else did you like about Scrivener? I haven't used it myself.
That you can move things around easily. I mostly worked in short stories before, and those are kind of easy to do in a Word document. But when you start, you have all these scenes, and then you decide you want to move them around, with Scrivener, you just literally drag it, and it moves it.
Wow.
So
it's worth trying.
Yeah, I would recommend it.
And especially the pop-up thing.
Yeah, if you like, little encouragement and pat on the back for good taste work.
I mean, who doesn't? And did you work 7 days a week, or?
I did.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you've literally pretty much worked with a couple of breaks since you've been here every day.
Yes.
Wow, that's impressive. Yeah. And when you have got out and about, have you seen a little of Orlando? And
yeah, I was lucky that some board members and friends of the Kerouac House would take me out. So got to go have some meals and some drinks, and yeah.
You didn't feel totally alone?
Not totally alone.
Good.
And I did a lot of walking, especially earlier in my time. It's a bit hot now.
Yeah, it's definitely warmed up. We didn't have spring this year. We've gone straight into summer. And what about the Orlando scene? How did you find that, the writing scene here?
I am so impressed by the literary community here. It's so vibrant, and everyone is so warm and friendly, and just really made me feel a part of it. I'm going to be sad to leave that behind.
Oh, and where are you going back to?
I'm going back to Singapore.
And what kind of a writing scene is there for you?
I'm pretty isolated. I mean, there might be a scene, and I just don't, have a pulse on it.
Yeah.
But most days I don't leave the house.
Oh, wow. So it's you.
It's me, yeah. Most days I didn't leave this house either, so it's totally me. It's not.
No, but I mean, there's not a lot going on.
Maybe there is, and I'm just not finding. I'm a bit of a homebody, so I don't think I can blame that on Singapore.
But you did enjoy getting out and about here.
Yes.
Yeah. So what kind of things did you participate in?
I did several readings, and I was on a panel at Litlando. That's all.
Oh, and we brought a few things to you too, didn't we?
Yeah. Brought some things.
We had an active time. We had the Atlas Obscura night here with our haiku, and then we had the Plastic Paint Out coordination. So, yeah, we've kept you busy.
Yeah, but that's good. I've enjoyed that.
It is. Now, what are you going to do writing-wise when you get home?
My plan is to put the novel aside for about a month until we'll go back to the States for the summer. So back to Singapore for a month and then back to the States. So I'm going to put it aside for that month and maybe work on some stories and then start revising it this summer. That's the plan.
And when do you think you might see it published? Do you have some vision for that?
That seems so far off
to
me right now. I haven't really thought about that yet.
Okay, well, we do have an open invitation to all our past residents to come and have a book signing here and their book launch. So we hope, I know you don't have a title for your book yet, but your titleless book, I hope you come back and do a book signing with us.
I would love that.
And you already have a book that's coming out next week, isn't it?
It's available for pre-order on Monday. It comes out July 1st.
Okay.
It's a chapbook of stories with Split Lip Press.
Okay. And what's it called?
It's called Gather Us Up and Bring Us Home.
So if we wanted to, we could order that.
You could. Yeah, you
Pre-order,
could go to
order that.
splitlippress.com.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to do that because I love the Gather Us Up, that story with that.
Oh, thank you.
Those words in it. It was really, really good. So I'll look forward to reading that, and we look forward from hearing from you. And thank you for being such a wonderful resident.
Thank you for this amazing opportunity. I feel
welcome.
so lucky to have been here.
Ah.